Good day, RGV. Today on Valley por Vida, we've got a lot going on. Now, we're going to be talking about a new musical that had its recent breakout performance on the Late Late Show with James Corden. We'll have fun facts about music, plus an exclusive sit-down with an Emmy-nominated award-winning author who's got an all-new immersive audiobook that you'll definitely want to check out. Now, there's so much going on, so don't go anywhere. Valley por Vida starts right now. Hi there, thanks again for joining us today. I'm your host, Danielle Banda. Now, in case you haven't heard, everybody's talking about Jamie. It's a musical that recently had its debut performance on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and really everyone's talking about it. Jamie's a teenager who's got big dreams, and so far, this musical, based on a true story, made its U.S. debut in Los Angeles after 1,000 sold-out shows on London's West End. Now, Tom McCrae is entirely self-taught in screenwriting, playwriting, and scripting and television, and he was actually nominated for a BAFTA early in his career for writing the TV movie Off Limits, School's Out. But I mean, he's worked on so many projects and TV series like Doctor Who and more. He's also an author and has had 3 picture books published, including an award-winning The Opposite, which has since gone to paperback and even been published in various languages. McCrae also joined Buccaneer Media for the live-action CGI adaptation of M.G. Leonard's Beetle Boy children's books. So, like I said, there's a lot going on. Without further ado, here he is just to tell us why everyone's talking about Jamie.
Hi, I'm Tom McCrae, and I'm the book writer and lyricist of Everybody's Talking About Jamie, a musical that's currently playing at the Armstrong Theatre in Los Angeles. So Jamie has 3 parents. He was created by me, Dan Glasper-Sells, the composer, and Jonathan Buttrell, the director, and we're the creative team who've been working on this for a very long time now. And it was an idea that came to Jonathan first. It's actually inspired by a documentary that was on the BBC in the UK, probably about 10 years ago now. And Johnny saw it and thought it would be a fantastic musical and brought it to me and Dan, who were working together as songwriters and trying to figure out how to put a musical together. And we'd never done anything before. Jamie's still our first show, but when we saw the documentary, we just fell in love with it. And it was a story that seemed like it wanted to sing. The ending, which is very upbeat, is completely true. It's a true story. It really happened. And we saw that and thought we want to tell this story. So that was our first project together. And 7, 8, 9 years on, we're still making it. So we've got to bring it to the States. It's just premiered at the Armstrong in Los Angeles. And I hope we'll get to take it out across the country, but that's not my decision. But if it was, we would be there tomorrow. And it's playing to very happy crowds here. It's a feel-good story. It's got some tough knocks along the way. It is a true story, as I said, so expect some tears as well. But it's full of joy and optimism. And as we come out of COVID and we're still dealing with kind of being in it, it is a story of community and coming together and the power of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And I think it kind of speaks to an audience now more than ever who just kind of want to go out and have a bit of a party and put their cares away and be reminded what it is we're all fighting for. Why are we trying to come out of this? Because our friends and our family and our community are so vital, and Jamie kind of celebrates all of that in a really fun way with some very catchy tunes. So I was very lucky in that we got to make the film of Jamie last year, which is out on Amazon Prime now and forever, with the same team with me and Jonathan and Dan, and we got to make it as our movie. It's great making a show with your best friends because we are now closer than ever. We've never had a big fight or anything. We just keep on loving spending time with each other, which is quite unusual when you've been doing it for as long as we have. And we get to kind of keep telling that story. So we're very passionate about all the versions of Jamie. And the American version is a little bit different from the versions we've had before. I live in California, so I rewrote quite a lot of the jokes to make them work. If you go and watch it, there's some really good jokes about the names of chocolate bars, which did not translate from the names of UK chocolate bars. So I had time going around bodegas, figuring out what to shift it to. And the audiences have really loved it, so it's been a big part of our lives for a long time and something that we're really happy to be able to share with everyone here. And the film as well is pretty good, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
We're so excited about everything McCrae is working on, and we hope that you're able to check out Everybody's Talking About Jamie just to catch out some of the musical magic for yourself. And in honor of Jamie's love for music, we've got some pretty interesting things to run by you in today's Fun Facts segment. First up, did you know that music helps plants grow faster? Yeah, according to bestlifeonline.com, music actually helps plants grow faster. That's right. Apparently, there was a study conducted by scientists in South Korea, and the site says that they found out classical music was the best of various types of music in helping plants grow. The site also says that the crops showed evidence that the plants could actually hear, and and said that so that you can try it too. By playing an instrument in your veggie garden at home, you can definitely try it out. The site also outlines that a single violin is actually made up from over 70 pieces of wood. And sometimes people refer to the violin as a fiddle because it's actually part of the wooden string family. It's pretty interesting. Now, the site also says that music education leads to better exam scores for students. See, studying music is an actual workout, for your brain, and learning an instrument has been proven to help students in so many different ways. Apparently, on an average SAT test, for example, someone who's taken a music appreciation course or choir or just, some sort of musical course prior will most likely score at least 60 points higher in certain categories. And get this, the site says that none of the Beatles could read or write music. Yeah, apparently the beloved band admitted that they never actually read or wrote music. Rather, they played it and the music was just later transcribed. And like the site says, we can only imagine what they may have written if they, just had some musical training. Music is just life-changing. And we've something else that, will rock your world. It's a game-changing new audiobook. See, Emmy Award nominated actor and author Greg Ellis is narrating his own gripping, unvarnished first-person account of family breakdown as he untangles the social, political, and legal forces fueling this national health emergency in an all-new, groundbreaking audiobook called The Respondent. Now, he's recently made worldwide headlines when he published the book, and now he's using that same honesty and his voice to reimagine the audiobook and create a true cinematic experience. It's all produced by Emmy Award winner Andrew Romano and features guest star Kevin Michael Richardson of The Simpsons, Family Guy, and so much more, so that listeners can just really dive into Ellis's story. And get this, Johnny Depp and even Alec Baldwin have promoted the book, so we caught up with Greg Ellis to dive in deeper.
Yeah, so The Respondent came to be through a personal tragedy of mine that I experienced around 5-6 years ago. And in living through that tragedy, I lost my sons, I lost my family, my home. I became homeless overnight. I was incarcerated, first of 5 incarcerations based on a lie, a false allegation. I was thrown into the family law gauntlet. And I realized as I entered family law, it was my first real experience of the legal system in America. And before then, I believed the institutions of governance and power and law were fair and just. And what I experienced was this star chamber. And then I found out that my Kafkaesque story was very similar to one that thousands of parents and children have been living in America for years. And so I decided that I would write my story, share it. I would dive deep into the statistics, the legal side, and really throw some light on a subject that very few people talk about, this $60 to $80 billion a year industry that is not answerable to the Supreme Court, that has no due process, where children are literally trafficked, legally trafficked, through the states, who are reimbursed $6,000 for every child who's placed into foster care. So I wrote the book, And then the charity, I created the charity Children and Parents United. That's the charitable extension of the Respondent. And then our mission is to promote and improve child well-being by providing information, resources to policymakers, politicians, parents and the public to result in enhanced relationships and reduced conflict between children and parents, and particularly those children and parents navigating our current family law systems. Yeah, this was a team effort, the Respondent. It started as part of my sense-making therapy and recovery to understand the upside down that I'd found myself in. I didn't want to write the book, frankly. I had to. I wrote it for a few reasons: to make sense of the government-sponsored devastation of my life and destruction of my family. I wrote it to let my children know that I hadn't abandoned them. And I wrote it to tell other similarly situated parents that they're not alone. So anyone watching, anyone listening who's going through this, you're not alone, you're not going crazy. It is our broken system. And perhaps most of all, I wrote it to ring the alarm bell about this broken system and call for social change and family law reform. Because we need to protect the most vulnerable among us, and it doesn't get more vulnerable than parents, and particularly children.
All right, it's time now to take a commercial break, and then we've got to look at your local weather updates, but stay tuned because Valley por Vida will be back, and we'll have info on the importance of CT screenings with our friends over at STHS. That info plus more after the break.